What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy with No Holds, and I am here with the famous Carlos Martinez. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
You doing all right, sir?
Yes, sir, I am.
Dude, that's good, man. That's good, man. I'm glad to have you. Very honored that you're on here with me.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, anytime.
Good opportunity, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. A couple questions. Favorite color?
Green.
Green, okay. Favorite food?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with Italian food.
Nice. Well, okay, which?
So, like, pasta.
Pasta?
Pasta.
Dude, I like Italian.
Chicken Alfredo, stuff like that, dude.
Heck yeah. That's like one of my favorite, I think, too, would be Italian food. If you can go back, no. Best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I've ever received. Let's see, is as hard as this is for me to believe, it would probably be not to listen to what others' opinions are of you, but to do what you want, like what makes you, what fulfills you as far as happiness and like as far as life, like whatever it is that you want to do that makes you happy, you need to do that, because if you try to do something because someone else said, you're only going to fall back into why am I doing this, and you're going to contemplate why you are doing it and why you aren't doing what you really want to do. So
nice.
So do what you want, don't do what someone else is suggesting for you, or their idea of what perfect human being would be. So.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. I like that. The worst advice you've ever received?
Listen to everyone. Listen, I have a hard time with that, man, only because I'll listen when I've already understood, but I have a hard time with someone telling me, do this because I asked you to. I'd much rather someone tell me, hey, do this, and this is why we're doing it. Because I'm not a servant. I'm not going to do something just because you want me to. Help me understand what it's for, why we're doing it, what are the benefits of doing it this way. Is there a better way? Because if there's a better way, but you don't understand that because you just believe this is the way,
Yeah.
You never know where, a good idea is going to come from.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So.
Yeah, no, that's good. If I know you're still real young, but if you can go back and talk to your teenage self, what advice would you give him?
Stay away from girls.
Okay.
Stay away from girls. Focus on sports, school.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Stay away from girls.
Stay away from girls.
Hear that, teenagers? Everybody.
It's puppy love.
There you go. Stay away from girls. Don't do drugs. No.
And yeah, don't do drugs.
If you could be, what was that question? I always ask it. My mind went blank. Would you rather be loved or feared, and why?
Definitely loved, because why wouldn't you want to be loved? People are happy to have you around. Smiling faces. That's awesome. You don't want to walk in a room and everyone's just shook, like, oh shoot, like Carlos is here. No, I'd much rather be loved for sure.
Nice. That's good. Dude, so let's talk about yourself, man. I know it doesn't seem like you do that much, just kind of getting to talk to you here and there. Seems like you're always willing to do other things and help other people. Like you helped me get this awesome truck, man. I love it. I love it, man. And so where were you born? Where are you from?
I was born in Andrews. Grew up here in Seminole for about 19 years of my life. Spent about a year or two moving different places. I've been to East Texas, like I would say Jayton. Probably.
You were in Jayton?
I was in Jayton for I would say a year.
Oh, wow.
That was probably the worst but the best time of my life. But yeah, I grew up here for the most part.
How old were you when you were in Jayton?
I was probably about 13, 14. I was pretty young. Might have been, 13.
Yeah. Wow. Jayton is, I know it's
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's in the middle. I've been there a couple times. Well, I've been there a couple of times just because of friends and stuff. But yeah, I remember it's like there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing there, at all. I think it's smaller than Seagraves.
Yeah.
Right?
Man. It's way smaller than Seagraves, actually. I don't even think they have a gas station there. When I was there, they didn't. It was just we had to travel like an hour, 30 minutes.
Gotcha.
I'm sure they had some kind of gas. I mean, obviously they had some, but like a legit gas station where you can walk in.
Yeah, no, it's been, and it was back when I was in high school when I went over there.
Yes.
And I remember it just being so small, like dang, there's nothing to do here. But I don't even know why we were there. But yeah, we were there. We were in Jaden, heck yeah. Your parents, you got a real good relationship with your parents?
Probably not real. I wouldn't say real good. I love them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's the best relationship. Growing up, I just had my mom. I was about 4 when my dad got deported to Mexico, so really didn't spend too much time with him. My mom would take us over there every year or so. She would try to take us once a year. We'd go spend time with them. So, but other than that, I never really got to, I would say, really get to know my dad. Now that I've talked to him and gotten just progressed our relationship, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish, then it was more of him disciplining us, and so my idea of him was, dang, this dude's mean. So, but obviously he was just doing his job, and I'm so happy that he did. All those times that we did visit him,
Yeah.
It was, from what I recall, it was just more of it was like getting lectured all the time because we didn't have him. Obviously, it was just our mom, and my mom did a great job of raising us by herself for the most part. So, but then things got kind of bumpy. My mom was just going through her phases. She's a single mom with 4 kids. She was in and out of relationships a lot, so
Yeah.
that kind of sucked. So we never really, I would say, had a relationship to where I can sit down and talk to her about something without feeling so I don't know. I guess I can't say I really had a relationship with either of them. I guess now I have a better relationship now that I'm older because I kind of know how to, build a relationship with them.
Yeah.
But when I was young, it was just more or less keep to yourself. It's going to be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. And how many, you have brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I've got one older brother, 2 younger sisters, and then I got some siblings that aren't my family but our family. So I've got about 9 total.
Really? Wow. And they're all from here, or they just kind of?
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people probably know them. Isaac, Janelle, Michaela. They're the ones I consider my family. I grew up with them for the most part. After my teenage years, of course, when my mom got engaged with their dad, spent a lot of time with them. And then I've got Mexico and Jacob. They're in San Angelo, but Janelle, Isaac, and Michaela are here in Seminole. So, and then my older brother Juan, he's here, and then my younger sister Clover, she was staying with me, but now she's living with him. And then I've got my sister Cedia, the superstar. She's off in college now.
Powerlifter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Heck
the
yeah.
powerlifter, so.
Yeah, I always see you post stuff about her. And that's
I'm
good,
proud of
man.
her.
Yeah.
She's come a long way. for
Yeah.
sure.
She looks up to you a lot.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm probably the closest with her than
The other ones.
the other ones. I really don't talk to the other ones much. So.
No. No, that's good, man. Heck yeah. So what was it like in like your elementary school? What were you like in elementary school?
In elementary.
Were you were one of these little kids that just didn't listen and?
No, I was ultimately a good kid. That was the thing. I was very respectful,
No, that's
especially towards my peers. So when I said that earlier, it's just now I have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
Especially at jobs and stuff. It's just, I want to understand. I want to get in depth to understand what I'm doing exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I was pretty respectful with my peers. I was still very timid when I was younger in my elementary years because I didn't have a lot of things that all these other kids had. So to me, I was just kind of like, dang, I don't have nothing really to be like, hey, let's go do this, or let's do this, or let me come to your house. So I kind of stayed away from that. So I would hang out with them at school, but for the most part, after school, it was just kind of, I just went home. would hang out with my sisters and
Yeah.
my brother.
And even in elementary school, were you in any kind of sports or?
I think my 5th grade year, I finally did basketball, but I wasn't in any sports. I actually did baseball. Baseball was the only thing I did up until like I think junior high, and after that, I discovered basketball, and then I fell in love with basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, so.
Heck yeah. You still go play at the gym? Or I guess not anymore, but,
Yeah, but,
you would go play, right? At the,
Oh yeah, dude, yeah.
the high school. Even at the park. I think I've seen you play
Yeah.
there a couple times.
Every chance I get, I definitely try to do it. Man. So,
Heck yeah. No, that's
it's like
good. What were you like as a teenager?
Mm,
Let's say junior high. Yeah.
junior high, girls. I was involved with a lot. Like, I just always had a girlfriend. But I was still very respectful for the most part. I was involved with a lot of sports, so that had a lot to do with the girls, of course. I did football, football, basketball, track. So I was pretty athletic throughout my junior high year. And that's when I got really big because basketball was everything to me in junior high. So that's what kind of everyone knew me for was basketball.
Dude, what about football? Did you play football?
Yeah, I played football. I played up until my 8th grade year. And after my 8th grade year,
Just strictly basketball.
it was just basketball. And then
track? No track?
I did track because I had to.
Oh, you had to
Yeah,
do
for basketball, we had to like.
Oh, man.
It was actually cross country is what we had to do, and then we had to do track. We had to do two sports, I think is what it was. So.
Dude, I hate it. Like,
Oh man, it was the worst.
yeah, cross country. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, I could not.
I would much rather do cross country than track though.
Yeah.
I would rather run for like 15 minutes straight and know like, all right, I'm done after the 15 minutes, than to do like 4 or 5 different consecutive races where you're like, because I would always cramp for track or like just anything if I did anything with running.
Yeah.
I had the worst cramps, the leg cramps, man. Those were the worst thing ever.
Dang. Yeah.
So, I just like track a lot.
Gotcha. No, I think I'm the opposite. I really like track, and whenever I would see them train for cross country, I was like, no, I cannot. I'm not running no miles. That even though we still kind of did in track, it was just no. Heck no, I couldn't do that, man.
Yeah. Well, see, the way I looked at it was like, if you're running short and quick for like repetitively, like that was just like, dang, that was tiresome. Like me running for a long period of time, I felt like was better because at least I had this. At least I knew I had a time limit. Like, okay, I got to run this far in this amount of time.
Yeah.
With the shorter races, you got to run this fast, and then you got a couple other races, and then you got to run that fast again.
Yeah.
So it was just
Yeah.
at least with the cross country, it was just like that one time, and you're like, all right,
Oh,
cool.
I get to chill the rest.
Yeah, I
of the
get to
day. I
chill.
get
Like
to go.
my job is done, and with the
What were you like? Were you saying like I get to chill and go chase after these girls?
that was, I guess that was the idea for everyone in junior
track,
high.
huh?
Yeah, in track, that was the thing. But no, man, yeah, I would probably do cross country for sure.
Heck yeah. No. Do you feel like the reason why? Okay. Did you have a whole lot of girlfriends in high school too?
I had two.
Two.
Yeah, two.
So you had more in junior high than you
Yeah.
did in high school.
Well, let me say this. I say girlfriends. There was like 2 or 3. That I just
Okay, gotcha.
had, I would say, a pretty long relationship. I would always try to make it a long relationship anyways.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't like I was like dating multiple girls or anything crazy like that. It was more of like I try to have a long, like I said, puppy love. Like I thought I was in love, so I was trying to I was like, man, that's my wife. Like I see a future. We're gonna get old and have kids and stuff like that. So I always seen that with every girl that I had a relationship with.
Oh yeah, I
That
think,
was
dude, I think we were all like that. I mean, girls, everybody.
Yeah.
I think, and when you're in that junior high or even going into high school, it's like, oh, I love this dude or I love this girl, and,
Right.
and then it's like, oh my gosh, it's not what you think.
Nope. Not until you live with them. Let's see if you love them.
Yeah, exactly. Not until, yes, for sure, man. Because I know. Yeah, but no, it's good. That's good. That's some good stuff, man. So, how good were you in basketball in
Um,
high school?
I was pretty decent.
Did you ever think you were going to go to college? And
I would have loved to, but unfortunately, I had my son my junior year, so I didn't really get to play. Honestly, I think I graduated my junior year. Yeah.
so you graduated your junior year.
Yeah, so I went to Success. Freshman year was in basketball, loved it, did only basketball. Sophomore year, decided to try out football, was in football, did varsity, so that was fun. And then fell off at the end of the season because I was just ready to get back into basketball really, and some things happened, and so that kind of sucked, and that kind of messed up everything because then basketball was thrown off, and again I was dating someone during basketball, and so I think I had failed one of my classes, and so I didn't pass, and so I didn't get to play, and after that it's kind of went, I wouldn't say downhill, but it kind of went, as far for basketball for me, kind of went downhill. And then I think sophomore year, of course, I still played. I was on varsity. And then junior year, my sophomore summer, going into my junior year, is when I found out I was actually at one of my basketball games for the summer league, and my son's mom came up to me and told me she had actually called me and then went up there and told me that she was pregnant. And so, like, those last games, I think I had one of the best games. I think I scored 28 points one of those games because I knew it was going to be one of the last games I played. So,
So, what was your reaction? How did you feel when you heard that?
I didn't know how to feel, actually, but I knew it was going to be okay. I just, what I've been through, regardless, I always knew God was going to take me through it,
Yeah.
and that it was going to be all right. And like growing up, really helping my mom out with my sisters, I was kind of already ready for that, role to be that. So I was like excited about it. Of course, I couldn't really be excited at the time. Like I was 16. Like, what do you mean you're happy you're having a kid? So, but at the time I was like, okay, like it's, you can't do nothing about it. It's happening. So
Yeah.
it was more or less like, all right, it's gonna be okay. Like whatever happens, it's gonna be okay. Like, I was gonna be fine. I was gonna make it work.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. When you went and told your mom, what was her reaction?
She didn't believe me. She was
Oh,
just
yeah?
like, really? And I was just like, yeah. And then after that, it was just kind of like, she was okay with it. She was excited. She was gonna have a grandbaby.
What about her mom or her parents?
I don't know. I didn't really get a reaction from my grandma, to be honest. It was more or less like I'm sure she was a little upset.
My bad. I meant like Isela's.
Oh, Isela's?
Yeah, like Isela's parents.
Oh, I'm sure they were upset.
No. Oh, you weren't there. Like
No, I wasn't there. Oh, so I'm sure they were pretty upset. Her mom was upset.
Dang it. Yeah.
'Cause we were both still young. I think, and things were going great. Like I was about to I felt like my basketball career was gonna explode my junior year, and she was gonna be the president for the high school. So like we were both on track to do like really good, and then we found out we were having a kid. So we both went to Success, and that kind of just we kind of put that to the side. Obviously, we can have that anymore being at the Success Center. So.
No, man. You feel like maybe your dad not being around. How do I put it? Like getting to share that with, like with your dad, with the father. Dang, I don't even honestly. I can't even explain what I'm trying to say. But with me, like your dad's still alive. And you said you do have a relationship, but with me not getting to share that experience, like Dad, I'm about to have a son that's, that's mine because of course my dad died when I was 9, but just getting to share that, like we're getting to pass his name down, like the Duran family is still going. So not having your dad by your side, which I mean, he's still alive, but he's just not there with you. Do you think that kind of has an effect? Did it have an effect on you or?
It did for a while, for a really long time. And like when I was gonna have my son, it sucked to not have him there. It was more like she had all of her family there, and which was awesome. I was excited that she had her family, but for me, it was just kind of like I didn't really have no one there to share that experience with other than with her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that affected me quite a bit. But I did have a lot of father figures growing up. I had a coach that I loved dearly. His name's Coach Max McGuire. He was here. His son is Matt. Me and him got along pretty well. They actually, when I was in foster care in Jayton, that's where I was.
Oh wow, you were in foster care.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's what I was doing there, and we were in actually like a nursing home. That was the worst time of my life.
wow. Well, finish telling your like.
Yeah,
what you were
so
talking
he was a good father figure for me. Like he really took me in when when I was in foster care. Like I would come and stay, have visits with them, and stay with them, hang out with Matt. So he had a huge impact on my life. So I looked up to him a lot.
Did you have any uncles or anybody that?
Yeah, I had a bad family background. My uncle went to prison, gang related, and my other uncle really didn't have a relationship with him at all.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I would say that not having my dad there kind of had a big impact for a little bit, and then after a while, I just kind of realized like I had to play with the cards I was dealt, and I was either going to make the best of it and not become what they did, or do what they did, but become better.
Yeah.
And set a legacy for not only for like myself, but for my son and his grandkids and his kids and stuff like that.
Well, no, definitely. I mean, because you're having to pretty much become a man on your own,
Right.
and that's not easy. Learning to just do.
Yeah.
Actually, just being a man, doing all sorts of things on your own is not, man, it's not easy at all. Especially you're 16 and about to have a kid, so.
Yeah,
I can imagine how quick you really had to grow up right there.
Yeah, my first thing was, okay, I need to, in my head, I was like, I need to prove to every other dad, like, it's not impossible to make it happen regardless of the situation, your age, or whatever the circumstances are. Like, if you want it to be good, it'll be good. So that was like my main goal. So, and it still is. Like, I think I'm doing pretty well. But so like when that happened at such a young age, I think we lived with her mom for about 4 months, and I just couldn't, I couldn't live with someone else. So I was wanting my own place, and so I did it. We ended up getting an apartment, I think.
Well, that's definitely, it's hard to live
we
with.
weren't even 18, and I was like, living under her house, and again, like, it was just, I didn't feel right. I appreciated that they took me in, or she took me in, because it was just her mom, and I'm very grateful for her doing that. But yeah, it was tough living there and not having privacy.
Exactly, yeah.
So that was the hardest thing, not having privacy. So if something was happening there, like, I was kind of stuck in the room.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, it definitely is very hard. We did that with, I think when I first moved over here, maybe. We lived with Andrea's parents, and I wouldn't do that again. I would,
it's not the same when you got your own place, man.
And oh yes, dude, definitely, yeah, it is not. Yeah, I would never do that again. I wouldn't even advise that. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Go get your own place. I don't care how.
Yeah, how hard it is. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's very, very worth it, man. So you were in foster care in Jayton. Why is that?
So again, my mom was in and out of a lot of relationships, and this relationship, it's like I said, it was the worst but the best time of my life. And the reason I say that, with it being the worst, is I did see my mom get abused a lot with her husband, but the best thing came from that, because I got to build a relationship with my brothers and sisters, Isaac, Michaela, Janelle. I would have never met them if that would have ever happened. But so we were in foster care for that reason. We got taken away because of just a toxic relationship, really. So I want to say we were there for a year. And like I said, it was probably the worst time, but the best time, because again, there's always something good that comes from the bad. So it's just the way you look at it. You got to put it in perspective that way. Like I said, I built a relationship with my brothers and sisters through that. And that was also one of the times I was closest to God that I had ever been. Because it was just so hard. We were so young. Like, we all went there, and we didn't really have anyone to take us in or anything. Of course, I was blessed enough to have, again, my coach, Max McGuire. He took me in, and every now and then I would get to leave. So that was cool. But other than that, we were just there by ourselves. Like, we didn't really have anyone to take us in to where we could stay here. So we were there for like a year, and that was tough. And it was at that we were in like an old nursing home, so like a nursing home that wasn't a nursing home anymore. So you had like the girls' hallway and then the boys' hallway, and then of course like where they would have lunch, which was the dining area, and like a little living room, like I can't even. It was a small space for our game area and where we got to watch TV, and it was strict. Like, it was so strict. Like, there was a timeline. You had to get up at 8, clean your room, mop the hallway, like clean your bathroom.
Wow.
It was not, from the experiences I've heard from foster care, and like my like other foster care stories I've heard, like where they kind of got to do whatever, and then like we had to be stuck in the middle of nowhere and having to have this strict schedule, and like
that doesn't even sound like a.
No,
like,
it was, and like
more
the parents. I think there's a couple there that we got along with well, but the other couple was like they were an older couple, and they're just old people, and they did not need to be foster parents But yeah, so we were like on a super strict schedule there. We had to do things a certain way. Couldn't have a phone. Not that they were a big deal. There were still flip phones back then, but still, it would have been cool. I think the only thing we had was a DS.
A DS.
And
dang it.
That was it. And
you couldn't leave, like,
no.
It was school or nothing. That's where you stayed.
So, like, the only time you left was when you went to school, and you got to come right back. You couldn't go stay at someone's house. You couldn't go play at the park. You couldn't just go do something unless your foster parents were there with you. Yeah. And I think there's like 6 girls and just me and my brother. So it was just like, it's kind of hard for us to like, hey, we want to go do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, we got to take the whole crew with us. Like, no, and like if we wanted to stay the night somewhere, that whoever we were staying the night had to get a background check. So that took forever, so it was almost not even worth trying to go stay.
Yeah, it's like, you can't stay there, you're gonna have to wait a couple months or something.
Yeah, that's really what it was. And like there wasn't a lot of people there anyway. I think I had like 6 people in my class. So it was just like, like it was better to just stay there.
Did you have a curfew, I guess, too?
Yeah, we had to be in our rooms by like 8:30
every day, even weekends.
Every day, even weekend. Weekends was 9. Weekends was 9, so that was cool. We had to stay out of room till 9. But then again, we were still just in this nursing home.
And you still had to wake up super early on weekends?
They made us go to church, which wasn't a bad thing. But if we didn't have church, we still had to wake up, eat breakfast. We had to eat breakfast at like 9:30, have our snacks, and you could kind of had, I would say, like time to just do whatever. So you could be in your room or be out here. But since there's quite a bit of us, you could only have a certain amount of people in like the living room. You only had like an hour of game time, and I think it was the Wii at the time. Wow. So we only had an hour to play on the game or the console, whatever. And so that sucked. So it was probably, it sucked, man. But like I said, that was the worst time, but also the best time because I did build a relationship with God, and that was probably where I built my relationship, my foundation with Him. It's because my thing was like, all right, He's gonna get us through this. Like, it's gonna be all right. And although like every night it was like, dang, when is it gonna happen? Like, when is my mom gonna come get us again? Like, when are we gonna be able to go back home? But every night I would hold like a Bible study with my brothers and sisters just to keep them up, because I knew, if I was struggling, I knew they were struggling, and like, especially my sisters, they were just so young. Yeah. And then my brother. So I kind of did that, and that was kind of time. I used that as time for us to be together too, where it was just us. Because if not, we couldn't be around like the girls. We couldn't have, our sisters just come to the room. Well, let's hang out in the room. We can just chill in here. No, we had to be out there. So that time at nighttime was the time where like we got to just be together, and so I'd just uplift them, tell them that it was going to be all right. It was just going to be a matter of time before we left. Yeah. But it felt like forever. So it was a year, but it felt like really long time.
Yeah. So, man, like what type of church did you go to?
I would say it was a Christian church.
Like a
I-
non-denominational or like Methodist, Baptist?
Yeah, I think it was non-denominational. I remember very vaguely. I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, there's nothing but like white people, and there's just four brown kids. Literally, we were the four brown kids, and that was it. Oh no, there was this black girl. She was cool too. So it was just kind of us, and we're just in this white church, like literally white people everywhere, and we're just there, and it felt uncomfortable, like because they were looking at us. Obviously,
yeah.
you know, they're like, okay, those people are from, you know, foster care. That's where they're at. So even going to school, they knew, like, you're in foster care. So it was kind of awkward. No one really wanted to have a relationship with you because they didn't know how that worked, or
Oh, man, yeah.
so it was just kind of
Because they didn't know if you were going to leave like the next day or
yeah.
next
So it was
week.
kind
So.
of unpredictable, really, for them. So it was just that was I remember vaguely going there, but I just remember always feeling uncomfortable, like I was being frowned upon or like looked at or judged in some kind of way. So
Yeah.
that was also tough because I would have to go back and then, you know, want to talk to my brothers or my brother and my sisters about God, and I tell them it was going to be all right. So
Man. Dude, I couldn't imagine that. Like,
yeah, it was tough.
dude, I bet, man. I mean, it just sounds just like you're in a juvenile center or
Yeah,
something.
that's what it felt like, man. And like we had a backyard like to where we could go play, but it was I would say like a 7 by 7 foot slab of concrete, and that was it. And it was like, of course, it was a nursing home, so they had like a lot of land, but they had like fences and up. So,
Oh, yeah.
like, there was a lot of times where I was like, dude, I can run. Like, I know, ain't no one gonna catch me. Like, I'm just gonna leave. But one time we left for counseling to Snyder, and I just remember how long it took and like how hilly it was, and like just looking around, like there was nothing.
So you actually really thought about it. You were
Yeah,
kind of planning.
legit. I was like, nah, I'm leaving. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, this is.
So what would your brothers? What would you do with it? You would take like, hey, come on, we're leaving.
I
or-
mean, I probably would have came back from, obviously, if that would have happened, but it didn't, because I like seen like the chances of me running an hour.
and you were
Not
what,
even an
13?
hour.
You
It was
said.
going to take longer. Yeah. Yeah, and at this point, I had to grow up really fast. So at this point, I was like, all right, what can I do? I can just like dip right here. I can just leave.
Yeah.
Like, we're back here. Like, jump this fence. I'm gone. Like, he ain't catching me. It was an old guy, and so, yeah. I thought about it though, for real. Like, I
Yeah.
really did. But I was like, man, you can't leave. Like, you can't just leave your sisters and your brother here. Like, no, sorry, I didn't do it. But
Yeah.
I thought about it a lot, all
Wow,
the time.
dude, that's yeah.
So.
How far? You said how far is it from Jayton to Snyder?
It was an hour,
An
and
hour?
then to Lubbock, it was like an hour and 15.
Yeah, it's
And then to Abilene, I think it was like an hour and a half. So regardless, if I was going to get to like a town to where like I can actually do something, and
Yeah,
like,
you-
are close to Seminole, it was a little bit of a ways. So I was like, dang.
So your mom was here in Seminole,
Yeah.
and then while you were in Jayton,
Yeah.
Did you ever get to talk to her or see her?
we had like visitations where we'd see her. I think it was like once a month. We would meet her in like Snyder, and we'd go to this room with cameras, so we couldn't talk. It was video recording us the whole time, them watching us, and we were just in this box. And that was our time with our mom.
Yeah. Could you hug her or could you touch her? or
Yeah,
anything?
we could hug her and stuff like that, but I think it was just for an hour too. So like it was just an hour, and that was it. So
Dude,
that always sucked too.
Yeah.
because it was just like, dang, like.
I bet.
I'm ready to just be back home with you,
Yeah,
Mom. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to be here anymore. Like, so it was.
Well, what was? Did they? I guess when it was time for you to leave, did they say, okay, you're going back home with your mom?
Yeah,
Or did
they-
you have
they
to go
gave us a
stay
heads up.
somewhere else and then go with your mom?
No, they gave us a heads up. They're like, because we always asked, like, is it going to get better? Are we getting closer? And like, they're still working on it. So we heard that for months. And then finally, my mom was like, hey, I'm coming to pick y'all up. And I was like, what? Like, really? Like, so it was super awesome. On the way back, we were stoked. We were happy. Like, she had just got us some like new Nintendos and stuff. So we were happy. Like, it was just fun to be away from that place.
Oh man, yeah.
So the fact that we were getting home, I was excited because like I still had friends here. So like I was excited to get back and start playing sports again. Because I think I went around the time where it was like where there wasn't very many sports going on. So it was like between football and there being a smaller school, like they started football way later.
And it's 6 men. Well, of course,
yeah,
it
6
is
men.
very.
So
yes,
like
6
it was
men.
just way off. So like the period that I was there, I would say I was there for like 10 months or like 9 months. That's when like nothing was really happening other than track. And but I wasn't fond of track really. So yeah, but yeah, it was exciting when we got to come back.
Dude, heck yeah, man! I bet.
I always remember that time. Like we're leaving, we're just driving through the hills. All I could remember, like, man, I can't wait to be back home. And like by home, I meant Seminole. I can't wait to be back in Seminole. Like, so that was cool.
Dude, man, heck yeah! Just to get to see your friends and just go out and just to go outside.
Yeah,
and
go
play,
outside.
man.
Like, I was just excited to go to school. Like at that point, I was like, I don't care if I just go to school. Like I'm cool with going to school because at least school we could
now
go
you got
out and do
exactly
something like
more
it.
people.
Yeah,
yeah, heck, dude.
So yeah, that sucked. That was probably a time that sucked, man. But
When you got back home, did you continue to go to church, or did you kind of just?
I did for a little bit, and then it kind of fell off. Like I said, I feel like during that time I built my relationship with him, but after a while, I always tried to keep going to church and stuff like that. But I think after we came back, we still moved one more time again to get away, and so that kind of fell off because I didn't really have anywhere to go to church. And the one church that we did go to, of course, it was actually where Carlos Gonzalez goes.
Oh yes, Assembly of God.
Yeah, so that was awesome, and we used to go there for a little bit. And
I remember seeing you here, Legacy. A couple times.
I came here a couple times too. I think that was like my 8th grade year, my freshman year.
Something like that.
Oh
yeah.
no, and then like when I was younger, when she had first got married, like I came to, we went to church here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
I
man.
remember being in the classes over there. That was before they built the new building, anyways. So we were in the little classrooms and stuff like that. So.
Oh snap, dude! Wow.
That was back in the day. That was OG time, man. So.
Dang it. Yeah, no, I remember seeing you here, and when it was Legacy,
Yeah.
And yeah, you'd come with Isela.
Yeah. She encouraged me a lot to come back to church. So.
Heck yeah, no,
That was
that's
awesome.
good. And then I think maybe even your sister. I think she's been here a couple times.
Yeah, she's been here a couple times. And that was the thing to me. I was like I have God in my life. I don't need to go to church to like have him in my life. Like going to church isn't gonna make me like me not going to church isn't gonna like lose my relationship with him. Like regardless, I know that I'm always gonna have him. Like he's gonna get me through whatever it is. Like. And with that being said, I never did anything to like really go against that stuff. Like it wasn't that I hated church or anything. It was just like I didn't feel like I needed to be here to have a relationship with him. Like I still had the Bible. But when the times that I did come is when I heard some of the best stuff. So I was like, man, like I need to come more often. So like I said, Isela brought me. And being here, I used to love going to, like when we would go to church. We haven't gone in a while, but I used to love, every time I went, I heard exactly what I needed to hear. And it was always just a reminder, like, for him saying, like, I'm here, like, with open arms. It's just a matter of when you want to come. And as crappy as that sounds, but it's just like, I guess I get so busy, I don't really make time for him like I should.
I think that's all of us.
Yeah.
And some Christians probably won't admit it, but it is all of us for sure. We do that. I won't say a lot, but it does happen to where it's like, I don't want to pray today.
Yeah.
I don't feel like reading. I don't even want to go to church sometimes. It does happen, so.
Right.
You shouldn't have to feel bad or anything, it happens,
Yeah.
In high school, did you get involved with like parties, drugs, anything like that, or were you just kind of, not a loner? Because of course you had a whole lot of friends, but did you not get?
I was kind of a loner in high school, man. Like everyone knew me because of sports, obviously, but like, other than that, I really didn't go hang out with them much. Like after school, it was just I was in the gym. Really, I stayed in the gym all the time. Like I would stay till 8 sometimes after school, and like if I didn't have a game or practice, like that was my escape. That was my escape from everything. Basketball. It was just like
Yeah.
I knew I was good at it and I could get good at it, and like it was just a relief for me. So like even during lunch, like for the longest time, my freshman year and sophomore year, like if I didn't go out to lunch with my girlfriend at the time, like I was in the gym for lunch. Like that was it. Like I wanted to be in the gym all the time because I was committed to the game. And again, like that was my escape from everything. That was my escape from not feeling like I had so much weight on my shoulders. And that was just kind of where I got to be free. Like I could just, feel like I didn't have to have so much responsibility at such a young age in the gym. So
yeah, definitely.
but yeah, like so I was kind of loner. Like I would say I'm a loner. I would talk to them in school if we had classes and stuff. Outside of school, I really didn't do too much. Like they did their thing and I did mine. But I was involved in parties with my brother, Isaac. He was older, and I was always hanging out with him and his friends. So like me being the younger one, hanging out with him, like this started like my 8th grade summer. So it started super young. Like I really didn't talk. I talked to my the people in my grade, but I could never relate with them because, like I said, I never had all the stuff they had. So I always felt like, man, I'm gonna show up and not have nothing. Like I don't want to feel like someone's like I don't want someone to feel sorry for me.
Yeah.
That was always the thing. Like if you're gonna feel sorry for me, I don't want to be around you. I don't need you to feel sorry for me. I want you to treat me like a normal person. I don't want you to petty me in any kind of way. Like I want to be treated like a normal person as if I had everything that you had. If you didn't treat me that way, then I kind of separate myself from that because I didn't want to be reminded. Like I already knew, like it was clear, like I didn't have that stuff, so I didn't want to be reminded that I didn't have a lot of that stuff. So I would kind of, and again, this was around the time that I was hanging out with my older brother Isaac, and so I was always with him and his friends, and I think 9th grade summer, I went to a lot of parties. I probably shouldn't had no business being at. And
How old is your brother, Isaac?
That's a good question. I think he's 25. Yeah, he graduated in 2013. So like his like junior and senior year was when I was still in junior high. And again, with me not really hanging out with him other than sports and stuff like that, I would go hang out with him because he was also in love with basketball. And he was really good at basketball. So like. For us, that was our escape, like my escape, basketball, and then hang out with him because with him, we kind of had a relationship. So we already knew what we had been through. We've been through a lot, so it was just like easier for me to be with him than anything else than for me to go and try to relate with someone that's, maybe not everyone had it good, but for what I seen, like everyone was good and they had what they had, and so I was just like, I can't relate, so I'm gonna come over here and hang out with my family. Focus on basketball. But yeah, we went to a lot of parties. I went to a lot of the parties with them. There was always drugs, but I never really got into the drugs thing because of my family background. So I was like, I was staying away from that. Not saying that I haven't tried anything, but of course, like I've tried weed. But like other than all the other stuff, I was just kind of like, nah. I was stayed away from it. But then surprisingly, like my junior year, after like my 8th grade summer, freshman year, and sophomore year, and then when I found out I was having my son, that kind of all stopped, and which I was fine with it. Like I knew I had to take on my responsibility, and that was with me having a son. So I was like, I got 2 jobs. I was working for the school, and I was working at Walmart. That sucked because I was never home. I would wake up and go to school. It was like I had no life.
So you worked at the school and at Walmart? So how did you do that? I guess you just worked at Walmart during the weekend or after school?
So like I would go to the school and work. I would get off early from Success because, Success, you're getting out faster. So I think I would get out like 1 or 2, go work for the school until 6 when they closed. And then from like 7 to 10:30, I would work at Walmart.
Wow.
So I was doing that for I would say I did that for almost a year. And then finally got my own place. And
how old were you when you got your own place?
I was 17.
17?
Yeah. 17. We had our own apartment. And I got to have just one job. So it was cool because I got to work all day after that because I finished school early. I finished in December, and I was supposed to graduate in May, of course. So I finished the whole semester sooner than I should have. So that was
Yeah.
cool. So I got more time to work. So
Dude, that's
then
crazy.
I got the opportunity to not work at Walmart and just work at the school. So I think I worked at the school for about 2 years.
Maintenance, I guess.
Yeah,
the-
maintenance, doing the yard work.
Yeah.
That was always fun to me. I don't know why. Now I look back, I'm like, dang, I can't be outside for 5 minutes. Like, take me back inside.
Man,
So.
dude, yeah, you outside mowing the grass, fixing
Yeah.
spring. I mean, pretty much doing anything. Like,
Yeah, just anything and everything they asked me to do, for the most part. So it's just like, I was cool with it.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't gonna be forever, so I wasn't like letting it get to me too much.
yeah.
Just
How
like,
was
"All right,
it?
This is just temporary. Like, it'll be all right.
How was it getting like living on your own at such a young age?
I was used to it, man. I think I moved out with my mom's, and me and Isaac got a place when I was 15.
Really?
Yeah, so
Oh,
like
wow.
we had our own place. I was 15. I was working at Sonic. I was like, if I wasn't at school or playing basketball, I would go to work, and then after work, that's when I would go with him and stuff. But for the most part, yeah, I moved out when I was like 15. We got our own trailer house, and
Dang it.
and yeah, that was from there. I was just like, and so moving in with Isela's mom, that was tough for me because I had already been like not living with anyone.
Yeah.
So like being under someone else's roof, I was like, nah, I can't do this. I think we did that for like 4 or 5 months, and then I finally was like, I gotta get my own place. Like, there's no ifs, ands, and buts. Like, I gotta get my own place. Like,
Yeah.
I need my privacy. So, yeah, I was like 17.
Did she move in there with you, or is it just you by
She
yourself?
was hesitant at first, which I don't blame her. I mean, we're still very young. I always wanted her to,
Yeah.
but I think she did end up moving with me. But I know for a little while it was kind of up in there. She didn't want to, her mom didn't want her to, which was understandable. I mean, that was her baby girl, so
Oh, yeah.
I understand that completely. But I was just like, I mean, that's fine if you want to stay here a little bit longer until you get comfortable enough to come. But I gotta go. Like, I can't be here. It's just like I didn't feel comfortable enough
Yeah.
to stay there long enough. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like I had to get my own place.
Yeah.
After that, it's good. We've had the apartment, so
And your relationship with your mom, like you've never really, like even to this day, it's still not.
I wouldn't say it's the best relationship. I mean, I love her to death. Like, I will do anything for her. But I mean, she's just kind of doing her own thing, and I would say I'm really the lone wolf. Like, I stay away from just my family. Really, I don't talk to them unless they come and talk to me. But if I see them, of course, I'm going to say hi, and I love them. Like, I love them from a distance, is what I should say. I'm not always around them.
No.
And it's just worked well like that for me. Like, I'm not around any negativity, anything like that's going to bring me down, or going to make me feel like I'm stepping down to feeling like I'm not being who I need to become for Grayson. So if I'm not leveling up around certain people, I just don't need to be around them.
No.
So, like, once we got our own place and everything, that I was just away. Like, I was just go to work, come home, see the baby. That was it. That's all that mattered to me. Like,
Oh, yeah.
as long as I got to come home to him, because I didn't have that. I didn't get to see that. So, like, that was the main important part to me. Like, I'm taking care of my son. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care about anything else. Like, as long as I was taking care of him. And it didn't always look that way. I mean, of course, you still got other opinions. And I was like, dang, I'm doing everything and more. And like, people are still thinking like, and that was the thing, like caring about what others thought about you. And that's such a hard thing to overcome. A lot of people struggle with it. I still struggle with it, but
Definitely.
I've gotten so much better at it. Like, but that was the thing. Like, I'm doing so much, and like, people are still trying to bring me down or say stuff about me. And like, I was just like,
Yeah.
what the heck? Like, I'm not gonna win trying to please everyone.
Yeah.
So then that made me even more or so like just step away from everyone, just kind of do what I needed to, and make sure he was taken care of, and not be around anyone to hear the opinions of what they thought or what they thought I should do. And so it was easier for me to do that way.
Yeah. So the apartments you live in now, that's the apartments you've been in
Yeah,
since
I've been in it for like 4 years now.
Wow, 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. That's great. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. But
Yeah, it's been forever. I'm ready to get out of it.
you looking at buying a house? Or?
Yeah, I'm looking at. So I have some land that I inherited from my grandma that she gave me.
Oh, nice.
So I'm looking to put a single wide trailer there
You
for
go.
now. And plan to, after a while, I don't plan to live in that long, but rent it out. I want to have rental properties, and I'm into like real estate. That's
Yeah.
what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like that's my main goal.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I know. I saw that you had posted something a couple weeks ago, maybe.
yeah, man. So not everyone knows, but I guess yeah. So I'm going to get.
Oh
my,
no, you're not. It's not supposed
I'm
to be
not.
out there.
No, it's not supposed to be out there, but I'll say it, man. It's
Oh my bad.
something. No, you're good, bro.
I just thought because you had posted it on.
Yeah, I posted on my Snapchat. I don't have a lot of people on the Snapchat though.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's just like the people I'm close. I know ain't gonna say nothing. If anything, if they're gonna say something, it's gonna be something encouraging.
Yeah.
So I posted on my Snapchat. Yeah, I got enrolled to get my real estate license. I'm going to take my classes next month. So that's exciting for me. Like to me, I'm super stoked about that.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I even told you too. Like, get it, boy.
Yeah,
I
so-
can't remember what I told you, but I was like, dang, man. Like,
Yeah. So
heck yeah, that's awesome, man.
that's what I want to do. So give me a couple months. If you're in the market for a house or if you're trying to sell yours, I got you.
Dude sells cars and houses. Who you know does that? Dang.
So yeah, man, I'm excited about that to get into that business. So that's gonna be cool.
Dude, that is amazing, man. To after everything you have been through, to just keep striving, to keep just grinding, man. Like to do more, you know, because you have the potential to do more, and you're not
Right.
you're not doing anything. You're actually going out and like, no, I can do this.
Yeah,
And,
I didn't.
dude, that's my bad. I didn't know that
No,
it was a
it's
secret.
good, man. Like to me, if like to me, my biggest thing has become say less and do more.
Yeah.
So don't say nothing because people are gonna have the negative
Oh,
opinions. People are
definitely.
gonna have like, nah, you shouldn't do this. Like this is why you shouldn't do it. Like, bro, like chill out. If you ain't done it, don't talk to me. Like, unless you've physically done it or like you want to do it. Like I don't want to hear it. And if you had a bad experience, great. That was you. Like that's awesome. But unless you have something positive to tell me about what you did, then I don't want to hear it because negative things, negative remarks, and what people have to say is just like it's like a disease, man. Once
Oh,
you get
yeah.
one bad thought, it's a matter of time before
Definitely.
1,000 more bad thoughts come in or 1,000 more negative things come in, and you're just negative. So you just bring yourself down. You're like, maybe they're right. Maybe I can't do that. Maybe it's only for certain people. Only or maybe it's gonna be super hard. So the more I like I said, if you don't have something positive to say, like I don't want to say less, do more. Like so, until I'm doing it, I'm not gonna say nothing about it because
Yeah.
then I don't want to hear other people's opinions on like why I shouldn't do it or why I should think about this or that. So
Yeah.
it's just like
What made you want to do that? Well, before even all that, like you started selling cars. How long has it been since you've been doing that?
it'll be 2 years, October 15th.
And what made you want to do that?
I was working the oil field, and I hated the environment of the oil field. Everyone's
Oh, yeah.
mad, grumpy, cussing all the time. I'm not a real big cusser. I cuss occasionally, of course, but everyone was mad, hated their lives. I was like, dude, I don't want to hate my life. I don't want to be that guy that goes home and buys a six-pack and that's his life. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be that guy. I don't want my son to come home and be like, oh yeah, my dad's just having a beer and that's it. Like, yeah, he's tired from work. Like, no, I didn't want that.
Right.
So seeing that, being around that, I was like, dude, I got to do something to help me become financially free. I've got to move towards that way. I know it's not going to happen overnight, and I was okay with that. But I would rather take 10 years of becoming financially free than spending 10 years at a job I know I didn't like. I was just doing it to provide for my family and just coming home and drinking.
Yeah.
So the reason I say drink, I don't drink a lot now. I don't see the point in it. It's never really done me any good. So it's just like I don't need to have it. I'm not saying that I don't have a couple of drinks. I'll do social drinking, but I'm not trying to get wasted or nothing.
Yeah.
I've had too many bad experiences where I drink too much than I need to, and it's just bad. So it's just like, if I can stay away from that or limit it, then cool. But yeah, man, it just started with being around that environment. Like everyone was upset and hated their life, but yeah, they had money, and they're busting their butt off, but I felt like there was easier ways to do that, like work smarter, not harder. So
Yeah, definitely.
found out my boss at the time told me about Tony Robbins, and it was like,
Tony Robbins, yeah.
that's the man. So he was the cause of it all. I was like, I started listening to him. He's just basically telling his story, and I was like, dang, like, and I already knew, like, regardless of the cards that I was dealt, like, I was gonna make something happen. Like, it was, I just knew I was gonna be successful. I didn't know what it was at the time, but there's just that burning desire, like, hey, it's gonna be all right. Like, you're gonna get it. Like, it's gonna happen. It's just gotta be patient. So after hearing Kim, I was just like, all right, I gotta be more open. Like, I can't be stuck in this oil field life of West Texas, like, where that's all it is. Like, I gotta figure out ways to produce income and like do things smarter to where I don't have to, come home and feel like I have to drink because work was so hard, or come home and take it out on my wife and my kids because I had a long day.
Yeah.
So like first thing was get out of that environment, get into something that was positive. So listening to him is just like, take the chances, man. Like go and do something. You can't say that you're not good at something until you've done it. Like until you've done it. Even then, like you're not gonna be great at everything. Something's gonna take. It's gonna take time to get good at some things, and that's all right. So there's nothing wrong with waiting to become good at something. There's nothing wrong with not being good at something right from the jump. Like,
yeah.
So, and to me, it's always more beneficial when you have to work for it. Like, I'd rather, like I said, wait 10 years than to, be 10 years somewhere I didn't want to be. So if I had to like build myself up to get involved in the business, like the car business, sales, anything like that, then that was fine. So I took a huge pay cut. That sucked. So,
to sell cars.
Getting to because I started off as an assistant. That was another thing. Hardest thing.
As an assistant?
Yeah, I started off. Yeah, so I was a sales assistant. So I was basically doing all the work the salesperson didn't want to do. But being in like the oil field, like I had my own truck. Like I was doing things by myself, like because I catch on quickly. So I knew that wasn't gonna be a problem. But like, so taking the pay cut and then having to listen to someone, and then listen to someone else, I was like, bro, this is gonna kill me. I don't know if I can do. There's so many times like I was just like, all right, I don't like this is not my idea of what I was hearing. Like, so, but they kept pushing me. My managers kept pushing me. Like, so after about 6 months of being an assistant, I finally got to be in sales, and that's when it was just like it got better for me because I was like, I need to do what I do. I need to do what I need to produce the income and the sales that I need to produce to provide for my family. I don't have someone tell me make calls. I still do, but like someone's not in my ear. Hey, you gotta make these calls. Hey, did you do that? Did you do this? Did you do this?
Yeah.
So being early and like new to the business, I was like, I hated it because like I wanted to learn everything. I want to learn something quickly so I don't have to be told what to do. So I can just do it.
Yeah.
If I can just do it, no one's telling me what to do. I'm already doing it. Like, and if I'm doing it fine, then what are they going to tell you? They can't tell you nothing. You're doing what you're supposed to.
Definitely.
You're doing it well. So, so that was my biggest thing. It's like, man, like learn it quickly, learn everything quickly, so that you can not be told what to do and you just do it. So if they ask you, like, yeah, it's done, like, that's it. Not like, well, why haven't you done it? Blah blah blah. Well, you need to do it. Blah blah. Like, and so I didn't want that. I was like, no, like get out of my face. Like just let me do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I got in the car business. Been doing that.
Why selling cars though?
Man, there was no specific reason why. To be honest, I seen an ad on Facebook. I heard about sales through Tony Robbins and like some other motivational speakers, and so I tried it. Took the pay cut, and now it's working out in my favor, thankfully. And I like it. I was never the people person. Like I said, I was very segregated. I'm surprised I'm doing this right now. Like I was to the point where I didn't really talk to anyone. I didn't want to go out and do anything. I just kind of wanted to be to myself. So it was hard, but it was such an easy transition for me to talk to people. Like I never realized how important it was to build relationships and just getting to know people, man. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Having that friendly face to where someone can talk to you and just be like, open up to you about.
Oh,
because they're opening up to you about finances. Now it's not like that when they get there. Like they're like have this guard up, like the guys are real macho, like, no, I'm not telling you nothing. It's just like, bro, like, if you tell me, I can help you. I can't help you if you don't tell me. Like, you gotta give me something to work with. But after a while, like I said, building those relationships with people, meeting new people. I've met so many customers. Like, I have customers till this day that I had a customer like go out of state for work, and he texted me saying that he's back in town. We needed to meet up. To me, I was like, that's awesome. I did my job. Like, he remembered me, and like I built that relationship enough for him to be like, you know, Carlos was cool. I'm going to talk to him, even if it's not about buying a car. And that's all I wanted was just to be that person for someone to be able to come to and be like, hey, I know you're my salesperson, but I want to talk to you too, like outside of, you know, doing business with the car. Yeah. So that was my thing, is trying to make it a good experience, but not making it an awkward, because I've heard so many bad experiences about the car. But I had a bad experience. So my experience was like, all right, don't do what that guy did to you. Like, my guy literally, it was over the phone, went to look at the car. I was like, yeah, this is it. Signed the paperwork, cool. Didn't budget on the price or nothing. Just like, I didn't even ask. I'm getting my own car. Like, I'm excited. Got my own car, and then went into the finance. Walked out. The dude was gone. Parked the keys, or had the keys and the manual on his desk, and was out. Didn't hear from him ever again. So I was like, to me, I didn't think nothing of it, because I didn't know what an experience for buying a car was at the time. And then when I got in the car business, I was like, dang, like, this dude did me wrong. Like, he didn't even like tried it. Like, he talked it all up, and then that was it. Like, he just forgot about me. So I was like, I don't want people to feel that way. I want them to feel like, okay, I can go back to Carlos, or, you know, let me call Carlos and see what he thinks. Like, even if they're not buying a car from me, if you have questions, if you're at another dealership, call me. Like, ask me. I don't mind. Like, I really do not mind. I'm not going to hate you if you don't buy a car from me. Like, that's not going to change my relationship with someone. Like, no. Yeah. Like, so, but if you have questions, like, I'm open to it. Like, I don't want to just be that, oh, he's sketchy car guy. Sketchy Carlos sells cars. Like, no, I don't want to be that. I want to be that guy. Like, oh yeah, go to Carlos. Like, he'll help you out, even if you're not buying from him. Definitely. If you have questions, and if I don't know the answer, like, we can find out together. Like, I don't know everything. Like, I've only been in the business for going on 2 years, so I don't know everything just yet, but I'm learning. So, like, I don't mind helping other people learn. Like, so that way they feel more comfortable going to a dealership, not feeling like they have to have a guard up. Yeah. Especially our dealership. That's the cool thing about Sewell too, is they invest a lot in their employees and making sure that the customer experience is just awesome, like excellent. Like, you don't want to have a customer leave with a bad experience, because they get that everywhere else. Yeah. So the point is to stand out. Another thing with Sewell is, like, they're Christian based, so it's all around God. So a lot of his things are like, just like, don't do something don't be sketchy. Really, don't be sketchy. Yeah. Like, if I have to lie to a customer to sell them a car, I don't want to sell them a car. Like, I don't. I'd rather, like, tell them the truth and them accept it, or them even get up and be mad and leave, than for me to have to lie and get them in the car and be like, dang, like, that was not true. Yeah. Like, no, I mean, dude, like, our experience there was amazing, man. Just talking to you and then going and talk to the finance. Like, it was smooth. Yeah, it's supposed to be that way, man. Yeah. Like, that's the whole point of providing that customer service, that experience. Well, you know, one thing that did trip me out was, like, you gave me a set price, and then when we went to go sign, it was actually just a couple dollars lower. That's the cool thing, though, man. Like, to me, I'm like, I tell my customers, I was like, and it's crazy. Like, I even told him, I was like, and I thought it was supposed to be, and I shouldn't have said anything anyway, but I was like, and he was like, no, that's what it is. Like, okay. Like, say less. All right, I'll sign. Yeah, man, that's the cool thing. Like, the point is, like, to get the customers thinking high, because we really don't know. It's based off your information. Like, it's not up to us. We're just there to make sure you like the car, and, like, that's really make sure you like the car and you like us. And then we send everything over to the banks. Yeah. So it's solely up to them. Like, we just have to structure the deal to make it appealing to the banks. Like, okay, this looks like it's a good deal. Like, so it's based off of you. So yeah, that's the cool thing. Like I was saying, like, if the price is a little bit lower when you go into finances, because we got to get your thinking up higher outside of the finance office, because we don't know until we send it to the banks. Then if the banks come back and say, hey, it's lower than what you showed them, then we look like the good guys, because it's lower than what you were expecting. Like I said, like it was, which I think I came out to. I was like, hey, it was lower than what it was, and then you went to finance and it was even lower. So that was cool.
Yeah, because it was lower. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so
exactly.
it was just like it kept getting better. So for us, that's how we want it to be. I don't want to come out and quote you something I know is not going to happen, and then say, yeah, no, we can do that payment, and then come back, hey, bro, we can't do that. It's actually this, $500 more. And then we look bad, and then you get into finance. Well, oh yeah, this is what it is, and you're just kind of like, you already have that sour feeling, like, dang, I don't want to come back here.
Yeah.
So,
like, I'm not gonna recommend this place,
Yeah,
but no,
exactly.
I do recommend people going. I think I've told a couple friends, brother-in-law,
yeah,
and
man,
go talk to.
I
and
appreciate
stuff,
it.
but
I'm like, so that's cool, man. That's the whole point of. So yeah, when I got into sales, and then I got into sales because I really wanted to do real estate. Real estate was the thing, but at the time I didn't know anything about real estate. Like I didn't know how easy it was to just go for a week and take some classes, and then if you pass your classes, you can, sign up for your final exam, your state exam. I was just like, is that easy? I would have done that to begin with. I think I was cutting someone's hair, and they're telling me, they're like, yeah, Hunter, so he's doing real estate. He's a cool guy. I look up to Hunter too. He's doing a lot of what I'd like to do. Anyways, Hunter was the one that told me about it. I was cutting Andrew's hair, and Andrew was interested in real estate too, and Hunter had told him, and Hunter had told me that too, but I guess I didn't listen correctly, because like if I would have known it was that easy, I would have done it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But basically, he was just like, yeah, I did it in Lubbock. I took the classes for a week and passed all the little quizzes and stuff, and then after that you go and you take your state exam and national exam, and that's it. But I was like, man, like that's it. I was like, here I am thinking I need to meet someone great, or meet someone that likes me, that's in the real estate business, for me to have an opportunity. Because I didn't have a lot of options. I didn't know a lot of people, especially not people that were doing good already. So it was just like, I got to just be patient. But then they told me that. I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm going to get into real estate then. Like, I've waited this long. I got into sales to eventually get into real estate. Like, I'm just doing it now. Like, why wait? There's no point in me waiting. If I wait, I'm going to keep waiting. I'm going to find another reason not to do it. I'm going to hear something, and it's just going to pull me back a little bit more and be like, maybe I shouldn't do it. So if you're going to do something, do it.
Yeah.
Don't listen to anyone else. Just go and do it and experience it for yourself.
What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going to just wanting to do more and wanting to succeed?
My son. I do not want him to grow up and not have something, or have to worry about like, hey, let me see if I have it, or let me go ask my parents, see if it's see if I can get it. Yeah. I don't want him to have to question that. I want him to be a kid. I want him to experience that. I didn't really get to experience that, so I want him to be able to fully be a kid and like just not have to worry about a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely.
But also be there for him to teach him a lot of the things I wasn't taught. So a lot of the stuff that I'm learning, I can't wait to show him. I can't wait to talk to him about it. He's probably going to think like, the heck? But I take that back. The best advice that I wish I would have been given was to get into motivational and like investing in real estate, and like just people who are doing good for themselves. Like having a mentor, that's awesome. So getting involved with that. I wish I would have gotten involved with books, reading about that stuff a lot earlier. Yeah. Because I can't wait to teach my son about that. Like, because a lot of stuff people don't know. Like I said, I didn't know it was that easy to get into real estate. So like, and a lot of people don't know. It's not that no one knows how to do it. It's just they don't know how. Like, they don't know what the steps is to do what they want to. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. He keeps me motivated for sure. Like, and like a lot of it is like my family background. Like I want to make a new legacy for my family. Like I don't want Martinez to be like, oh yeah, this guy was selling drugs. Yeah, his family's bad. I want the Martinez to be like, oh yeah, they're all about business. Like they're caring about people. They're awesome. Like they're awesome people. Mm-hmm. And so like that's the biggest thing for me is like, what can I do to do that, make that happen? Like how can I make myself better? What do I need to do? What situations do I need to put myself in to where I make myself uncomfortable so I can grow? Yeah. Because that's all it is, man. You got to put yourself in the situations where you're not used to. If you stay complacent somewhere, you're just gonna you might as well stay focused on that, because that's all that's ever gonna happen. No, man. If you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you grow from that. You learn something, even if it's bad. Like even you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and it just horrible. You have a bad experience. Well, you learned something.
Yeah.
So now you have that experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he keeps me motivated to make sure that he has everything. I don't want him to have to question like, hey, can my friends come over and stay the night? And him after, well, I don't have really somewhere for y'all to stay the night. I don't want him to feel like, I can't wait to be that dad dude to have all the kids, have all his friends in the truck or in the car. Like, yeah, let's go. Y'all want to go do something? Let's do it. Like, hop in the whip. Let's go. Like, come on. I can't wait to do that with him, man. To be there for him, to be the person I never had growing up for him.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's super important for me. It's just to make sure, like, regardless of whatever happens, is to always make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, he's the reason for everything. I don't know where I would have been if I wouldn't have had a son, honestly. I probably would have been in basketball, obviously, but I don't know what would have happened after that. So
Yeah.
I think everything happens for a reason. I mean, that's pretty cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, everything does happen for a reason, and he's my reason. Like, that's it. He's my reason. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
man,
other
he
reason.
looks so happy, man. And then the pictures you post, like, he's all G'd up and stuff, dude. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
That's the main thing. And
Keeping him happy.
keeping him happy. Make sure.
Do you feel like the bond that you and him have is just that much greater because you didn't have a bond with your father?
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
It's awesome coming home and, Daddy.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the coolest thing to me. Just running
It's
to me, and give me
amazing,
a hug
man.
every time. That keeps me going. This month has been pretty bad for me in sales, like I was telling you earlier. But it makes it easier when I get to come home. Like, all right, I need to flip the switch. But this is a bad month. It's all right. Like, you need to get over it.
Yeah.
So he reminds me daily, like, hey, it's gonna be all right.
Oh, yeah, man.
So
Yeah, I mean, they're just
so loving, man, and they're so clueless. So they're just, like I said, they're loving. They don't have any, like, really reason not to.
big. Yeah, exactly,
So,
man.
so for me, like, that's awesome. Like, I love experiencing that.
Yeah, definitely.
So the biggest thing for me right now is making more time for him, because I'm sacrificing a lot of time away from him to become financially free, to where I can spend a lot of time with him and work on my schedule, not someone else's schedule.
Yeah.
So I can be there for every single game, even if he don't even play sports. Like, I just want to be there. That's it. I want to be there, record. I want to be that dad that's taking pictures and, like, doing stuff like that, and make sure, like, that he has his dad there.
Yeah.
And, like, the biggest thing for me is, like, if he has friends that are going through something that I went through, I don't want them to feel like they can't come over, or like they're feeling, or like they're secluded from a group. I want them to be able to come up to me too. Like I said, I can't wait to be that dad that has all the kids and all his friends, and we're going to take a trip, or they're wanting to do something, or we're taking them to the next game or something, or we're going to get something after the game because they did good.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, I want to be there for him and whoever else is around him, just to impact their lives, because I feel like I didn't have that a lot growing up, so it'd be cool to just be able to
Experience that.
yeah, and to just give that experience, like, hey, it's all right, like, it's gonna be okay, like, it's not the end of the world just because you didn't grow up with all the riches and, like, and mom and dad. Like, it's gonna be okay. There's still a way.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's gonna take some time, but there's still a way. Like, that's the main thing. So
Dude, heck yeah, man. You still have a relationship with the seller? Y'all still
yeah,
together?
we're together. We're living in that apartment. It's been good, man. So yeah, everything's good with her.
That's good. Parents, everybody's still good with her parents, and
Yeah, no, it's a lot better than what it used to. I would say it's better now than it has ever been. Yeah, it was a little bumpy, of course. I mean, we're a young couple having a kid.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
We butted heads a lot. Not only us, but, just my mom, her opinions, and then her mom and stuff. Like, so, but it's gotten better. I would say we have a lot better relationship all together. So.
Yeah. No, that's good. One question I wanted to ask was, you said you went to church and you've got to meet just different people, I'm pretty sure, from different backgrounds of church. You came here, you've been to Carlos's Assembly of God. I don't know if you've ever been to any other church, but right now, like, what are your views on Christians? Like, do you think I don't know, just what are your opinions on Christians right now?
I used to have the opinion like I was being judged all the time. So that was, like I said, that was a big reason why I didn't like to go to church. I hated walking in and everyone looking at me like, who the heck is this guy?
Mm.
Or like if they did know me, like, why is he here? You know, so it was just like I hated that about Christians, and like the fact that they're all holy and I love God, and then doing something crazy afterwards. Like, what? Like, I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to paint this pretty picture just to, you know, for someone to see through it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not hard to read people.
Yeah.
I mean, so that was my business. It's being fake, I guess. But as I've gotten older and met more people that established well in churches, and like yourself and my manager and a couple other people, like I see that y'all are still human. So like it's not like you're like, no, you got to be this way and that's that. Like I still accept people for who they are.
Definitely, yeah.
Like, so that's cool. I have a different perspective now. So, but then it was just like, man, these people are judging me. They think they're better than me. Like, it was just that bad idea. And now I have a whole completely different
Perspective on it. Yeah.
So now, like, it's cool. I don't, like I said, I wouldn't have ever seen myself doing this, talking, or even talking to you.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, it's cool to be able to, you know, see a different perspective of what Christians are actually like, or certain Christians are actually like. Because of course you're gonna have those ones that are still
definitely,
you know, doing what they're doing. But it's cool to meet people like you, and like I said, my manager, he's established one in church too, but he still accepts people for who they are.
Mm-hmm. No, that's good, man. What could we do better? What could Christians do better to I guess just to reach, I guess,
to reach out
and
to
accept,
people?
yeah.
I would say be more open, man. Like, talk to the random people that you don't really see. I feel like y'all have y'all's own little clan, and that's the clan, and that's like, this is our group. If you want to join it, cool. But just reach out, have a smiling face. Don't portray that image like, oh, I'm a Christian, this is how I do things, and that's, if you don't do things like this, you're going to hell.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
So it's just being open, letting them know, like, letting people know you're human, like, you've made mistakes, like, people like that, genuine.
Yeah, just be real.
Yeah, be real, exactly. Like, nope, don't hold back. Let them know, like, hey, listen, I've had some mistakes in my past, but this is where I am now. Like, you can do it too, or whatever the case may be. Or even if they're, like, my situation was when I was younger, I wish I would have been able to go to church and not feel like I was being looked upon, but someone accept me, like, hey, yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
Be more welcoming, with open arms, and not feel like, oh, who's this new person coming in, or, you know, who's the new kid, or feeling like you're in high school.
No, man, yeah.
That's the worst thing to me. Like, I don't want to be back in high school again.
Yeah.
So,
and that, yeah, you're right. That's good.
Just having a smiling face and welcoming arms, and just being real, saying, hey, like, we're not perfect here.
Yeah.
We don't come here because we're perfect. We come here because we know we're not perfect, and we're working on that. And it's, like I said, it's a journey. It's all a journey. It's not about, like, how quick you get somewhere. It's just, what's your journey? Like, what was your process to get to where you are? Mm-hmm. So helping them understand that, like, you don't got to be perfect to come here.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. I like that. I like what you had to say. That's in something that we would definitely, pretty much everybody needs to think about. You know, I know my mindset has changed, and I think that's why I have this, is to talk to different people, whether you know God or you don't know God. I want to get to know you, you know, and of course, don't hold anything back. Like, give me your honest opinion on what you think about, or whatever I ask. Like, I want to know, because if there's something I need to change, or some ways I need to do things, then let me know. Like, I don't want to be known as, oh, that, or even just Christians. They don't accept anybody unless you're part of, you know, like you said, just that group. Like, no, man, my house is open to anybody, you know, and it's always been like that. But man, thank you for that, though. I love what you had to say. That's so good. That's so good.
I think that will help out a lot. That would have helped me out too.
Yeah.
Because I always felt like, even though I was making, you know, I was a kid making bad decisions, going to parties and stuff, I just didn't feel like I was accepted.
No,
No, you're being a hooligan. You can't come here. Like, this isn't for hooligans.
Yeah.
So just welcoming those people, like those people that are bad, or I don't know, that's a bad person. Like, no, hey, come on.
Yeah.
Come join.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. That's so good.
And just like opening up, like no one's gonna open up to you. You can't expect someone that has a bad past to open up to you right away.
Yeah.
You gotta give a little to get a little.
Yeah.
So tell them something about yourself before you say anything or ask anything about them. Like say, hey, just want to introduce myself. Start off with something they probably wouldn't expect, like something that you did, like, oh dang, like this dude did this, like wait, you go to church, like hold on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like start off with something like that. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. Like they're gonna open up a little bit and be like, okay, so this person has done some things. Like I feel a little bit more comfortable. Or just in general, man, it's just like people are.
And it takes time, and I think that's where some of us don't want to do that. It's patience and time. Like
thing, man. Patience.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Yeah, you have to be patient with people because, of course, yeah, just like you said, they're not going to open up to you right away. Doesn't matter what you try to do. It's not. Most of the time, you're going to end up turning them off, and they're not going to want to talk to you no more.
Push them away.
Yes, exactly. So it takes time. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced this to where somebody just not went at you, but started talking to you and just started throwing scripture in your face, like, oh, you're bad for this and this and that.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced that before?
Yeah, I have, man. That's funny that you say that. I have. My manager used to do a lot. Like anytime I did something. Well, in the Bible it says, like, okay, like I get that, like, awesome, thank you for sharing that with me, but now I don't want to tell you anything. So he's gotten a lot better with that. So like I said, he has a different perspective. He was just trying to help me because he knew I had good intentions. But so that was his way of trying to help me. I was just like, it was annoying at first. I was like, bro, I don't even want to talk to you. So for like the longest time, he thought I was this angel. Like I didn't do nothing. I was just this young dad, like trying to do the best for his son, which I am. But like he didn't think I had a past. Like he didn't know my past, and a lot of people don't. So. And I don't tell a lot of people because I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want them to be like, hey, I'm sorry for what you went through. Like, I don't need that. Like, just treat me like a normal person. Like, we all have our problems. I don't need you to try to make me feel better about mine.
Yeah.
Just accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing. Like, I don't want anyone feeling petty for me. Like, I don't want them to feel sorry for me in any kind of way. So.
Man, that's good.
Like, I know that they may be caring genuinely, but a lot of the time, just like, I don't need that attention. Like, I don't want that. I just want to be another person in the room that gets along with everyone else. Not that person like, oh, this person has been through so much. Let's go do this for this person. Like, no, I don't. No.
Yeah.
Like, the way you're going to help me is just by treating me like a normal person. So.
Dang, that's good, man. Love it.
Yeah. So.
Heck yeah. Dude.
Yeah, man. So. Yep. So what's your perspective on the whole Christians? I know that you started this for that reason, on what people who may not go to church all the time.
Yeah.
Our opinions and stuff. What was your perspective on us, on that people that didn't go to church at first?
Dude, at first, even before I went to church, I hated it. I did not like church. I didn't want to even think about going to church. Andrea, she was the one that, I grew up Catholic, but then I quit going to church whenever I went high school and stuff. I think I got kicked out of youth there. I don't even remember, but something like that. Moved here, and she was trying to get me to go to Family Harvest at the time, and I was like, no. I went there, I think, once, and then I was like, man, I don't like it here. And it just was not, it was different. After a while, it kind of, it's like, oh, okay. It kind of grew on me, and I was like, all right, man, I'm starting to understand a little more. Even at that, it was just speaking in tongues, Holy Spirit. Like, I had all these questions that I would go and ask Pastor Todd. I'm like, why can't I see the Holy Spirit? Like, if he's real, where's he at? It was just, I didn't understand. But at first, it was more of, I can't hang out with these people because they're bad. Or I really can't talk to them, or I can't listen to this kind of music. It was just different for me when I first started. But now that I've gotten more revelation, it's like, well, Jesus did it. Yeah. Jesus went out and hung out with these people. He invited them, hey, come eat with me. Why can't we do that?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly, bro.
And that's why this is kind of one of the main things too, and that's why our house, like, man, anybody's welcome to our house. I don't care who you are. Like, I like meeting new people. I like to see where you're going. I want to know your background, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
I may not be here. I'm not going to be here and just throw scripture and like, oh, you're going to go to hell for this. No, man, like, hey, I'm open, bro. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's sit down. Let's talk, and let's figure this thing out together, you know? I actually got a real good friend, a best friend that I have back home, and I went on this walk, and he had said something to me that was just inspiring. He was like, man, you, out of everybody else, never judged me. After everything I've been through, like, you're always there. A lot of the other friends kind of left. They kind of judged him because of for what he's done, and I'm like, no, bro, like, I'm here, man. Like, that's, and even to this day, like, I call and I check up on him because I care, man. Like, yeah, even though you may not be saved, you may not be a Christian, and you may be doing whatever, like, bro, I'm here. Like, I want him to know. I want you to know, like, if you're struggling with something, I'm here. I'm not going to push you to the side and be like, I don't have time for you. Like, no, I do have time. And I feel like we can actually do that, maybe start doing that better, is, man, making time, getting to know people that don't know Jesus, or that feel like they may be judged. Like, I don't ever want to be that Christian, like, oh man, he just judges people.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, that's not good, man. Like,
I had that idea of this whole church for the longest time. Like, oh man, they're just gonna judge you once you show up.
yeah, and that's not good. Like, I would never.
Well, I didn't know you. I didn't know you.
Yeah, yeah,
never
and I
talked
wish,
to you, so that was bad on my part too for not getting to know you.
But then that's not even bad on you. That's bad on me for not even reaching.
Yeah.
So that's where I want to do better, is like, if somebody new comes into the church over there, or even here, like a student, I don't want them to feel like, oh man, these leaders just don't care. Like, no, man,
Yeah.
we care, but it's up to us to actually, hey, we need to reach out more.
Put the effort in.
Exactly, it is. It's putting that, the way you're motivated to go out and do things better for yourself, better for your family. Like, I feel like that's what, like, I want to do that, of course, for my family, but I want people to know, like, oh, like, he's actually being a Christian, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yes, like, I want to be that type of person, you know? Like, I care. That's why I go and we would play flag football. You know, I actually got to, it was pretty cool. I got to pray for JJ.
That's awesome.
Dude, yeah, like, it was, at first it was hard for me, but to just do that and then talk to him the next day, he said, dude, yeah, I feel better. I was like, man, that's praise God.
Yeah.
And just to hang out with different people, go play cornhole. You know, I like playing cornhole with those guys and getting to talk to them over there. It's just, why not? You know, I mean, do I have to go out and smoke? Do I have to go
you don't
and drink?
gotta do what they're doing.
No, man. Like, I enjoy talking to them. You know, they're amazing people, man. It's just, of course, people won't do that because they're smoking and they're drinking. Oh my gosh, you gotta get over yourself sometimes, you know.
Yeah, if you can't discipline yourself enough to be around that and not feel the urge, because a lot of people won't do it because they don't want to be, what's that called? Where you're like, there's a word for it. Peer pressured into doing something.
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't want
yeah,
to.
yeah, that's
Especially
right.
if you've stepped away from that.
Yeah.
Because like me, I still hang out with, Isaac every now and then I've got my buddy Mikey, and they still do drink and stuff. Like, they still drink, but it's not that I always have to. I don't even need to drink sometimes. Like, I'm fine with not having anything at all. A lot of times I feel better because I don't feel like crap, or like I hate beer. It's disgusting, bro. I don't know how I used to drink it so much. Now that I think about it,
I was
the
never.
taste in my mouth it's gross.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, and it brings up all the bad memories of which I don't like to remember. So that's another thing, man. Like, I was in an accident. That's what steered me away from a lot of the drinking too. So.
Oh, you were in an accident?
Yeah, I was in an accident while drinking, man. I was on. No one knows this, but again, no holds. I was on my way back from Lubbock, and I was in an accident. And bro, I was so happy to just be alive. I don't.
How long ago was this?
This was years ago, man. This was like, I would say 2018. It was around it was bad, bro. It was bad for me. It was a point in my life where it was a turning point for me where I got into all this and started doing better for myself because I was like, man, I'm going to where I don't want to be. Like I'm heading down that path where I said I was never gonna go, and so that was the turning point for me. Like after that accident, and not remembering and just being able to be alive in general. It's like my son was super young. Like he was 1. He's still young, but he was 1 at the time, and I didn't get to see him. Me and Isala had split up, and we had our differences, so I wasn't able to see him a lot.
Yeah.
So that hurt me a lot. So I was just looking to other things, and the one time I decided to just go out, and that one time was it. After that one time, I was just like, all right, I don't need to have another one of those one times anymore.
Yeah. Where was this at?
I was in Lubbock. I think it was a Mayweather and McGregor fight. I think so. That was what, 2 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
So that it was that day. It was in August, and driving back, just woke up on the side of the road. The driver's side was just caved in. The back tire was gone. I was parked perfectly, like in a parking spot, literally. Like it was in Seagraves. Parked at an McKinsey insurance agency. And I was parked in the parking spot. I was like, how did I? And the officer woke me up and was just like, hey, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, so I got out and I looked at the car. I was like, there's no tire, and I'm parked in a parking spot. Like, this isn't making sense. Like, I knew it was, God, of course. Like, that was in the back of my head. Like, he was protecting me. So I was just like, dang, like after like everything, like he's still, like you've got. You're out. You made it out alive for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even remember what happened. I just remember I was heading back home. I was trying to get the car back, and I was tired. I suck at driving at night. So just being intoxicated and driving, I was just like, man, all right, I'm almost home. I remember being like on the outside of Seagraves, almost about to be at the curve. I don't even remember how I made it past the curve, honestly. But I was like, all right, I'm almost there. I'll stop in Seagraves and just go to sleep and wake up in the morning. Now I woke up and was in a vehicle that was totaled.
Oh, man.
With the back wheel gone. So that was the turning point. I went to jail for a day, the worst experience of my life. Told myself I was never going to jail, and there I was in a jail cell for a whole day. The worst thing ever.
Where'd you go to jail? There in Seagraves?
No, in Seminole. So for me, that was just like, man, like my son. That was all I could think about, like my son. Like look, like you told yourself you weren't gonna do nothing to head in the wrong direction. Like here you are in jail. Like, what the heck? I had no reason to be there. No reason to be there. Like it was just a bad decision, and I'm glad that it happened. But I was just like, after that, I stopped drinking. I didn't drink for like a year. I didn't drink for a year, and then finally got open to social drinking. And so I social drinked, and then after that got a job in the oil field. And then that's when everything kind of changed for me.
Yeah.
It's like, so I don't want to drink. Like every time I had alcohol, it just wasn't ever nothing really good. A lot of the times it was pointless. To forget something you're just gonna wake up and remember. Like, so you're drinking to drink the pain away, but the pain's still there, so that's not doing nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that accident, that was a huge turning point for me to
Wow.
make sure nothing ever happened like that ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Dude, I don't remember that, man.
and no one does. I don't even know if anyone knows. For the longest time, I was in-house. I was like, man, I don't want to hear no one. If someone comes and tries to tell me something, I'm just going to hit them. Like, I don't care. Like, I messed up. Like, I get it. And so, thankfully, it was bad, but it wasn't bad to where, like, I hurt anyone or anything like that. So, to me, I was like, okay, I don't need to put myself in a situation like that ever again. And I need to change what I'm doing, change however I'm being, whatever it was. So I changed just completely rebuilt myself, changed my mindset, refocused it. And I just knew I had to do better for Grayson and for myself.
Yeah.
So after that, that's when everything kind of started happening for me, the motivational stuff. So like for me, like I said, being here is kind of hard. It was hard for me to come, like, because even though I want to, like, this is something I would love to do, is like get in front of people and like talk to them and tell them like, hey, it's gonna be all right. Like your situation's bad, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like everyone's situation is bad to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get through it. Like it's gonna be okay. And to like talk to the younger kids who may go that doesn't have anyone to look up to or even talk to or hear encouraging words. I wish that was something I had, like someone motivating me or pushing me.
Exactly. And it's you talking about that. It makes me think of how God is. Even you sometimes. Because I remember doing some stupid stuff back then, and my mom was not happy at all. But I think I'd want to come home to be like, so let's say like a father or God, saying, hey, are you okay? Rather than you're stupid. Why in the heck would you do that?
What are you doing?
Yeah, like no, I don't. I'm fine, but dang it, you ain't got to be that rude. You know what I mean? Because but of course I think I deserved I deserved that back then. For sure, but still, it made me think when you were talking about that. Like, I think that's how you're going to be with your son. It's when he does something wrong, and when he's a teenager, he's high school. It's going to be more of like, Mom, I'm here, son. Like, you okay? Sure, I know what you did, but are you okay? Like, is that?
That's the important part, man. Like you said, I don't want Grayson to grow up and be like, hey, don't tell my dad.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell my dad. I want him to be like, yo, Dad, I messed up. I did something crazy. Like, and me just be like, all right, that's okay. Well, let's talk about it. What happened?
Yeah.
What can you do? What can you learn from that? Most importantly, like, what can you do differently so it doesn't happen again? Mm-hmm. Not like, what the heck are you doing? Like, with the chancla over the head or something crazy, spanking him. Like, no, like, I want him to be able to open up to me because, like, a lot of the times there's some of the stuff I was doing, like I didn't want to tell my mom because I knew she was gonna freaking hit me. So I was like, heck no, like she cannot find out. So I don't want my son to grow up thinking like, okay, my dad cannot find out this. I want him to be like, no, I need to tell my dad. It's gonna be okay. Like, if anything, I want him to know. I don't want him to feel like he needs to keep something from me. Yeah. Because if he's gonna keep something from me, that's just gonna progress and it's gonna get worse. He can keep more things from me. Yeah. So I'd much rather him be completely open, like, hey, Dad, I did this. Yeah. Or like me be like, hey, I know what happened, but hey, let's talk about it. Like, we need to discuss what happened. Yeah. What you need to do to become better from it. Mm-hmm. This isn't me telling you you're dumb. Like, you don't need to do it again. Like, no, it's all right that it happened, but like, we don't need to let it happen consistently again. Yeah. So no, I think that's very important that you're still part of it. Like, of course you're there for him. Mm-hmm. You're part of his life. You don't want anything happening for him because there is multiple kids out there, students, that don't have fathers. That, man, and it sucks growing up without a father. I mean, I know it. You have to grow up super quick and learn all these things, and then when you mess up, it's like, dang, I suck as a human being because I'm not doing this right. How did you not know that already? Exactly. Like, man, when people talk to me about vehicles, it's like, how do you not know how to do this? Or how do you not know what that is? I'm like, dude, I didn't have a father. I didn't have anybody to teach me. I'm having to learn on my own, and it is hard, but I feel like it's the relationships I have with my kids. It's just, man, it's that much better, and especially having a son, dude. Like, golly, I love my son. I love little boys, man. That's your spitting image, man. You always got to remember that. That's what keeps me going. Like, he's my reflection. So if I'm gonna be acting a fool and doing something stupid, I need to understand that if he don't end up doing the same thing, it's gonna be tough for him. Yeah. So I'm he's my reflection. Like, whatever I'm doing, he's gonna look up because they're smart, man. They'll pick up on anything. Very quick. They're so smart. So that's my biggest thing, is just making sure I'm setting the right example for him and becoming who I need to become for him. Definitely. Because he's gonna be right behind. Oh yeah, and even, man, if you decide to have kids later on and you have yourself a little girl. Oh dude, man, I'm done having kids. I don't want a little girl, dude. I cannot have a little girl. Not now, dude. Not in this. No, I
Well,
don't.
maybe
want a
not
girl,
now,
bro.
but maybe later on, if you decide to have kids, like, dude, I'm telling you, man, a little girl is so, like,
I've heard
girls
it.
are awesome too, man. Like, I know it, very different. And I'm learning how, of course, how different it is to have a son and daughters, but to just raise the daughters and love them, like, man, I don't want them to be treated any other way, but
Yeah.
the way I'm treating them, like, I want them to understand, like, man, I want somebody that's gonna treat me with this much respect, with this
Yeah.
much love for me. You know, I don't want to just fall for anybody.
Right.
So
That's
no.
important, man. That's awesome. That's really awesome. That's good that you see it that way, because ultimately it's going to be up to you and who they want or who they fall for. So if you set that example, like, nah, if you ain't gonna treat me like my daddy treats me, then you
Yeah,
get out the way. Like,
Yeah, I know, and I've always told. I think I've told Andrea this plenty of times. I'm like, man, when it comes to prom or when it comes to dating, like, it's like, man, I want to bring them into a room and I want all my boys to be there. You know, just kind of like, hey,
like
yeah.
Bad Boys.
Dude,
that scene's all. That
Oh
scene is
my
perfect,
gosh,
bro.
yes, that scene right there, dude.
Oh,
Oh, man. That's so awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what I told my wife, and oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome to do that.
Yeah, dude.
But-
That's yeah.
But
That's
man, but no, dude, man, I'm proud of you, man. Proud of the man you're
Appreciate it.
becoming, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like you said, don't listen to any of the negativity in your life. Stay positive, man. I mean, and it seems like that's what you're doing. Because if not, then you wouldn't want to be a realtor. You know, you wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be going higher and going deeper and finding new talents in your life. You know, that's what it's about, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
you
never
have-
know. Some people are stuck on one thing and they're like, "This is all I can do for the rest of my life." Like,
Yeah,
no, like go do something else. Like you never know what you're gonna be good at. Like just try something.
Yeah.
You might be amazing at it.
yeah,
And that's
definitely.
gonna lead you to the next step.
Yes, sir.
Try multiple things. You don't have to be stuck to the one thing. I hate when people say, "Well, you gotta get good at one thing first." Like, no, like you can get good at multiple things. Like, yeah, focus on one thing so you can have the time to do the other things, but don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Just because someone didn't do something or because they give you their experience, don't limit yourself. Don't put a ceiling on yourself.
Dude, that's so good. I feel like people need to hear that because I've talked to multiple people to where they just seem like once they fail one thing, they don't want to try another thing.
Failure's the way to success, though, man.
Yeah.
You gotta keep failing. If you don't fail, like you're not gonna learn. How do you think the people are where they're at? Because they failed. They didn't get there because they got it right. That's
Yeah.
not how it works. That's not how anything works.
Yeah.
You got to get it wrong before you get the benefit of being praised for doing something right. It becomes with all the failure.
Yeah.
So you gotta embrace the failure because it's all, like I said, about the journey.
Yeah.
So it's about those little failures that made you become who you are.
Mhm.
That now everyone sees this big success image, but they didn't see the little, the failures that you went through all the times. You're like, dang, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, man, I've done this multiple times. It's still not working. You just gotta keep trucking.
But that one time though,
Yep.
it's gonna work.
Yeah, and
then-
that's all it takes
Yeah.
is that one time, and everyone will be like, "Oh wow!"
Like, oh,
no,
yeah.
it's oh wow, but no, it's
Yeah.
not oh wow because you wouldn't have said oh wow if I showed you what I've been through.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's true. Definitely
So.
true. Heck yeah, man. Well, dude, thank you for being on here with me and
Appreciate it,
opening
man.
it
Thank
up,
you for
man.
having me.
Yes, sir, man. And, if you need a car,
Got you.
right there, go
Come to
talk to
me.
this man right here. Awesome, man. Very respectful. And I'm telling you, he will do whatever he can to get you what you want. I'll guarantee it. And he does it in just like a loving way. He's very approachable. He's very approachable.
Sure, man.
Everything that you did for us over there, dude, I'm loving that truck, man.
I'm glad,
Even
man.
though I don't really get to drive it right now because my wife's all about that truck. But even my kids, dude, they're
like it.
like, dude, and Dad, I like your truck better than Mom's car. I'm like,
There you go. Like, good. Come on.
like, man. But no, man. When you get into real estate, dude, I look forward to maybe talking to you about some of that stuff if we do.
Yeah,
See what
for
happens
sure,
with our
man.
house and
Absolutely.
um,
Can't wait.
somebody wants to get a hold of you, you do have social media.
Yeah. I do.
How can they do that?
I mean, you can get a hold of me on Facebook. It's probably the easiest way.
What-
Facebook, our Instagram. Facebook is just Carlos Martinez. You'll see a picture with me smiling next to a car. So it won't be hard to find. If you want to ask me questions or anything like that, man, I'm open to anything. If you just want to talk, come to me. I'm open to the conversations. If you need a car, I'm open to helping you out in any way that I can. And like I said, soon I'll be getting my real estate license. So
There you go.
if you're looking to sell your house, wait a couple months. Give me a couple months to get in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Facebook, Instagram. Instagram, it's Papilos, Papilos 13. So
There you go. You can follow me, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and No Holds. It's pretty much just the No Holds logo. You'll find that pretty easy. Go and follow that, man. I will try to have this episode out pretty quick, man. I want to get it out there, man. Yes,
explode it.
definitely,
Share it
man.
everywhere.
Appreciate that, man.
So,
That's all
I
about
think it's
getting
awesome
out there.
what you're doing. So that's cool, man.
Thanks, man.
That's really awesome. It's
Thank
going to
you.
open up a lot of people to feel more comfortable.
Yes.
To even not only even be on the show, but to see your face and be like, oh, okay, I can talk to that person. So
Yeah.
that's going to open up a lot of doors for you. That's cool.
Thank you, man.
So,
Appreciate
good job
that.
on that, man. That's awesome.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you. That
Hey, man.
that speaks
tough.
to me for sure, because there are times where I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Oh, man, just
But-
keep going, man.
but
Sooner
yeah.
or later, look at Joe Rogan, man.
Dude,
It's
oh,
taking him
man.
years, man.
Yes.
So it's not going to happen
Yeah,
overnight.
and
It'll take
exactly.
some time. You'll only
It
get
is.
better at it, though, and you only get more people. People,
yeah.
like I said, you open up more doors, and people are going to want to be on it and tell their story, or
Yeah.
have their opinion on what questions you have, and so just
But
stay
no,
consistent, man.
dude, and I'm glad you asked me something. I hardly don't have anybody ever ask me anything.
I've
which
seen that, man. I was like, no one asked this dude questions. Like, how are they going to be on the show and not ask
Yeah.
or learn anything about it?
No,
So,
that's good, man. I'm glad you did, because like I said, I don't usually, because it's not really about me. It's about who I'm
Right.
trying to interview. You know, I want them to. It's their stage. Like I'm just here just to make sure you you have something to talk about. Other than that, like, but I mean, it was very encouraging when you said, well, what do you think? I mean, I was like, oh, okay, well,
yeah,
I like this. It's going
important
good.
for you to talk too, man. I know you're setting up the stage, but you got to see behind the scenes. You got to ask the person asking the questions sometimes.
Dude, thank you, man.
So-
That's good. I appreciate you, man, for sure. But until next time, we are out. Peace.